Hey everybody, it is Tuesday night and we are live. Let's see who else in the house. We got the Terminator in the house. Good evening, Mr. G and Yoda and everyone.
Hey.
Scanes is in the house. Hey y'all. She's been busy. She was on Local Prepper this morning. She was just slinging all kinds of information.
Woo.
And Jane is on here. And Beth Emily. Oh, and Rose and Lynn. Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday Night Live. We made it this week. Last week did not
was not a good day.
Yeah, it was not a good day.
But it turned out to be better the next day.
Yeah, it turned out. So, well, I was not feeling like doing a live Tuesday night to begin with, and so I didn't schedule one. So then I put the animals out on pasture, and it was dark. And so Mama had new babies, and I tried to keep her up in the pen, and she went wandering out of the pen, and the babies followed her, and it was pitch black. And when it came time to put them away, could not find them. Scanes was here, and so between her, Scanes, and I
think Scanes and I were out there till midnight.
We spent a total of about 5 hours looking for him. Could not find him. Gaines went out the next morning and looked. I went out the next morning and looked. And Wednesday was not a good day for me. And she called me, about 3 o'clock?
About 4.
It was right before I came home. And she said she found him. So they were still alive. We thought they had been gotten by predators or something, but they had hunkered down in the blackberry patch, and both Scanes and I walked through there. One of us, it's lucky we didn't step on them, but she heard them from over by the house, and I guess Mama and the rest of them were going nuts.
They were trying to get out. Mama was doing everything she could to get out to go get her.
So she got him back in, called me. I was relieved, and been taking extra effort to make sure that the babies don't get out when we put them out on pasture, because they're still small.
Hax is in here.
Yep.
Guess who the lousy mama is? It's Daisy.
No, that's not Daisy.
I thought those
were
Daisy's
the chestnut one.
Oh, never mind. Daisy so far safe.
But so we thought we lost them, but God kept them safe overnight, and then
actually kept their bellies full. I mean, I expected those bellies to be super empty, but
they're kind of porky. But it's one thing our animals, no matter what they say when you're here by the house,
they're always like, I'm hungry.
No matter what they say, they're not starving. Trust me on that.
I'm gonna have to get up and check my pies every so often. So if y'all see me leave, just excuse me. I'll find the moment where I can just get up and go keep checking. Got to get ready for Thanksgiving.
And then this weekend literally did not get much done around here. I transplanted some comfrey and some horseradish into containers in the greenhouse, seeing if I can't get them to start growing and see how far into the season or into the winter I can get them to go. I know they'll winter over in there fine, and the ones outside winter fine.
I was going to ask you.
What?
Because I forgot to go check. How are the olive trees doing?
They're doing fine.
Perfect.
They're doing fine. We may have to figure something out this weekend, but they're doing fine right now. They're still green and all that. Hey, Kiss Off.
Kiss Off. Oh, it is. Like, what are you telling a Kiss Off?
But other than that, and I cleaned up a garden bed. I cleaned up that garden bed on the north side of the chicken coop. It got overran with weeds. Everything gets overran with weeds.
Overran by goats is what it got overran with. Yeah. Goats and sheep were like, "Hey, what you playing in there? Ooh, amaranth. Okay, chomp, chomp, chomp."
No, that's the south one, the north one, the one on this side.
Oh yeah, no, that one was terrible.
Yeah, but that's just it's not as bad as it was when we first moved in. So it's all good.
Well, you expanded it this year for me, so it just takes a minute.
Well, and we have to make sure we do a better job of clearing
and
stuff
not
out.
grow fruit that vines. that's helpful.
I know.
Where I can actually walk in it. I made a huge mistake.
Did you show those African whatever the hell
No,
they
I
are?
can. You want me to grab them?
Yeah, go grab one. She found these little fruits. They're African. I don't remember what the name are. Kiwana. They're okay. They're Kiwana, whatever the heck that is. Frankly, I was not a big fan of the taste. We were probably eating them when they weren't ripe. But
we were eating them too early.
I'll tell you what, these things.
There you go.
These things are drought resistant and they are critter resistant. Kiwana MD Lawn.
No, just Kiwana.
Kiwana.
You get well from Buffalo Seed Company. I don't know. I can't remember if melon's on there or not, but it's not really. I think melon. If melon is on there, then I would be surprised because they're
melon.
But I would expect melon texture, and that is not what we. However, I told you I think we were eating them too early, so
those have been sitting.
We're letting these ripe some more. And then we'll try them again because I know some that were sitting that I had up, I hadn't gotten to. So those, when I went to go take care of them, they were more of a melon texture. So maybe they aren't. I'll just have to look up the seed or call Nancy or whatever. But I need to see what to do with them. Starla, any ideas on what to do with them? What
I was going to say, though, these things, I want them grown next year, and I want to add them to our thing, even though I wasn't a big fan of the texture and everything. And probably either overripe or underripe. But anyway, they are drought resistant. They are heavy rain resistant, and these things grow like little gangbusters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to put them, even though I'm not a big fan. They're a great source of vitamins and sustenance if we have to. They're ranking up there with Jerusalem artichokes with me.
Well, and the fact is, if you, I put some, because I really didn't know what to do with them, how to process them. And so I just put them in the dog's water. I put them in our water. And I couldn't get enough water, and I don't care for water. Mm-hmm. And so in Africa, as they're traveling down, they actually will harvest these and they eat those to rehydrate.
Okay. Rose says they're keto friendly, and Starla says to make powder for smoothies and desserts.
Okay, so if you got a dessert thing in there, you need to send me a recipe so I can try it. But I'll Google. I'll ask Uncle Google and see what he's got.
Well, and you threw some out. You just threw some out in the field out there, and they grew.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of see because they're supposed to be drought hardy. They're supposed to love the Midwest weather, and I just wanted to kind of see. So I threw them out there, and they took off.
Did you plant them out in the field, or did you just throw them out there?
No, I planted them.
Oh, you planted them. Okay. Okay. The horn melon, also known as African horn cucumber, spike melon, jelly melon, and kiwana, is a member of the cucumber and melon family.
Okay.
There you go.
Straight
from Wiki.
There you go.
No, I found those when I was cleaning out that bed. We'd harvested the other ones months ago.
Yeah.
And these two,
we should have waited.
These two were sitting out there, and as I was cleaning the bed, I was like, okay, I gotta take them off. Rose wants to know if they're keto friendly.
I think Starla already answered. I think she said yes. Pretty sure she answered and said yes.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Okay, so she did. Good for sorbet yogurt.
Oh, you're making yogurt.
Kiss Off says, did your wife just say she hates water drinking? Yes, she does not
I did say that.
She does not like water. The only water she likes is the type with barley in it.
That's not true. I'm a tea drinker.
And carbonated sugar.
And Diet Coke, yes. But mostly I'm a tea drinker, and I'll go through a gallon of tea a day. And so that's my poison.
Oh, Kiss Off says she hates water too.
Yeah. The only water that I can stand to drink is out of the Berkey, and it has more of a sweet taste. I think I'm just not tasting all the chemicals and treatment crap.
Well, our water here is extremely hard.
Bad.
And it's got my jug right here. Whenever I empty it, I have to wash it out after each each time I fill it because there's flecks of minerals in there. Diet anything. Yep.
I know. Leave me alone. Look, everybody's got a vice. I just happen to have 3.
3?
Just 3.
Just 3? I beg to differ.
Look, I'm not a sugar thing. I'm not a sugar person. I'm not a candy person unless I have to. I like the old-fashioned hard candy. But you know,
boy, I don't know what they did.
Throw me a Route 44 Diet Coke, easy ice, and I'm all good.
I don't know what they did to the Reese's this Halloween.
Yeah.
But they were way different than I remember them being. And
did you find them more oily?
No, they just tasted better.
Oh no, I didn't like them. Isn't that funny? I didn't care.
Really,
like I quit eating them. I like, because I do like a Reese's peanut butter cup every once in a while, and now like somebody will offer me one. I'm like, no, thank you.
Hex uses his vice to weld. You know, it's just one of those things. Yeah, that was my big sinful indulgence.
What was that?
Reese's peanut butter cups during Halloween. Now I didn't
even see you buy any. Well,
it's because they had them at work.
From Kentucky.
They had them at work, and
hey Tambra,
went overboard on them.
I just told Garen that he is to send you and Lucy. They were on Girls Night Live last night, and they both won the WROL deck of cards, and so we'll get that over to JD tomorrow. Can you do that tomorrow?
See, Tiger,
and then we'll send them out.
Tiger says they tasted different too. I don't know if they changed the peanut butter ratio. Speaking of that, and this is just an off the wall squirrel moment. Reese's is offering personalized Reese's peanut butter cups. They've actually got a website you can go to and order peanut butter cups with the exact ratio of peanut butter to chocolate. And it came. I know it's the stupidest thing. It's the stupidest thing. And I ran across it. I thought it was very interesting, but they had some guy send them pictures of a couple of Reese's cups that were nothing but like they were chocolate with just like a little tiny sliver of peanut butter in them.
Huh.
And some marketing guy at Reese's is like, hey, we should do this as a marketing ploy and allow people to make their own.
Grateful Hearts may have it right there. I bet that's it.
We'll see. Well,
they changed the oil because I noticed they're more oily.
Yeah. They don't last long enough for me to know the oil, to notice oil.
Oh, well, too bad. I don't need them for my butt anymore.
It's such a stupid topic to talk about is Reese's Cups. It's just one of those things. I just thought it was weird because I usually am able to push that stuff back whenever I'm trying to lose weight. But man, those things were addictive.
Yeah.
Tiger says I thought it was just my taste buds with all the health issues going on.
No, they're bad.
Yoda.
What'd I do?
Our mail system is on strike, so they might get lost in the mail.
Do you want me to hold them back? Is that what she's asking?
She'll hold on to mine.
Okay.
I will let you know when they're back to working.
Okay, we can do that.
You guys got all kinds of problems up there in Canada. Although Trump has been threatening.
Lucy, just make sure you let me know because I'll forget. I'll have slept since then. So,
but Trump has been threatening tariffs, and Trudeau got on a phone call with him today and said it went very well. So we'll see if maybe some splash over from our election can't help our Canadian brethren.
Gregory reminds me, remember those commercials back in the 80s? Keep your chocolate out of my peanut butter and that kind of thing. That's what that reminds me of. That's funny. Grateful Hearts brands. They lubricate their chainsaw with them now. See, I'm not the only. He thinks I'm nuts because I don't like them now anymore. And I'm like, I just don't.
So Lynn says there's a world chocolate shortage because they've got drought in 8 of the 10 countries.
So I wonder if they changed something in the recipe to make it stretch. I bet that's it. Because I have noticed that chocolate is not, that's the other thing I didn't like, but oil made sense. So I bet you they're substituting something in there to make it, because it seems a lot thinner and it seems a lot, I don't know.
There's a lot of that going on. The guys at work were making the comment that the McDonald's fries were better.
Tiger. Dentists are just not what they were, what they used to be anymore. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Yeah, Tiger, I had my my temporary filling about 3 weeks ago disintegrated. Of course, that was the place I got it.
Fidelito.
That's the tiny Fidel. You know,
Oh,
Trudeau.
yeah, Trudeau.
Yeah. Reese's peanut butter cups are adult crack number 4. Number 1 is Ruffles with French onion drip. Try to eat just one.
Oh,
hey, he's not too far off the truth there.
You're not. Mine would be clam dip and Ruffles. You only make that once in a while. It's usually New Year's Eve. I did get clams for.
Oh, that was devil dog, not rabbit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You guys, the comments are moving really fast. So if I attribute something to the wrong person, forgive me, please. No, and then as far as on the homestead this week, our last working freeze dryer went down, so I had to open up a ticket with it. So we'll see how long that goes. We don't have any freeze dryers going. We got that thing in Tennessee coming up, so hopefully we've got enough. We got enough stuff, and hopefully the
Mossy Oak Parrot told Redneck to contact you, and you guys are supposed to coordinate to go pick theirs up.
Yeah, I did. It's down in Topeka, and I need to get back with him. He said he'd bring it up, but
his back.
So I'm gonna try to work something else out.
Okay, cool.
You know, I don't want him.
Maybe Ian can go with you when you guys go down Friday. Maybe you guys could do that Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that will help, because at least that will help me catch up.
He may not be available.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, I will.
Maybe you could just treat him to you and Ian are going to lunch anyway.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
Skane says that her vice is Doritos and bean dip. Susie likes chocolate tea.
Chocolate tea is good.
So that's not an unusual thing?
No. Oh. Yeah, like chocolate mint. I grow chocolate mint. And chocolate tea is good. And I like it. But the Doritos thing, I'm a little worried about you, Skates. So Doritos are just literally poison. So
Tamara says her package came today.
Good. Hopefully that means little Miss Prepper got hers. I've been worried about that. Hers, I sent meat to her. So
But and then, you know, the big news for us, the reason I didn't get much done on the weekend is because Saturday baby girl had a birthday party.
Yeah.
So we went down and saw them. You know, it sucks when you do a day trip because we spend just as much time in the vehicle as we do at their place. But it was great seeing them.
Oh, she was so cute too, so adorable, because now she's at that age. I don't know if she was looking out the window. My son kept calling, and I thought it was weird because he's like, "Where are you? Where are you now? Where are you now?" I kind of remember that conversation when Addie was born, and she literally just stood at the kitchen window waiting for mom and dad to come home with the new baby. And so she obviously had done that because G pulled in, and no sooner did he pull in and he was trying to get the truck turned around and all that, she comes bolting out of the house. And I was like telling Gary, I'm like, oh my God, be careful, because I didn't want her to jump out. And finally our son, you know, got out there, and he's like, hey, stay back. As soon as the truck turned off, she was right there. And you could just hear the leaves crunching, little pitter patters running up. Oh, Ma. And it was like, oh, so.
But yeah, we had a good time. It was fun seeing them. A little bit and baby brother were both just rambunctious as get out. They had all their little friends.
You see Gregory's.
Yes, that's why I highlighted it. But I wanted to finish talking about
sure.
Grandbabies are way more important than freeze dryers. Seriously, any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory, it's a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
They're extremely finicky. You have to treat them right to keep them running right.
Well, don't you think it depends on how I run mine pretty hard?
Yeah,
mine are constantly running.
You put all kinds of extra freeze time on it because you get busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Or they go off in the morning and you're still in bed and stuff. But
I got to get that extra time extended.
But
I can do that manually.
are they hard to fix? Yes and no. There's a lot of parts on them that you cannot fix yourself. The hardest part right now, as far as I'm concerned, is getting through the Harvest Right system. And it's not that it's bad. It's just they've got a very high job load, and so like it's taken 2 weeks to fix our extra large tray. We had a sensor go bad on it, so it wouldn't register the temperature properly. So then it would air out and it wouldn't finish the cycle. But it took a week to get the thing shipped off, and then it's taken 2 weeks.
Well, a week. It took a week for them to send a box for us to pack. Then we had to spend a few days. I mean, let's just be honest about it. Then we had to spend a few days. Unfortunately, it hit a weekend, so that's why it ended up being a few days. Asking for a shipping label because it didn't get get sent to us. So we had to get through that, try to get that done. Finally got it. It took a week for them to get it. And then it's going to be 1 to 2 weeks before. Now, they say that, but their time wait was like 7 to 10 days.
Right.
So, unfortunately, we leave for SOE, not this weekend, but next weekend. And it'll probably show up while the kids are here sitting.
Yeah.
And so,
unlike the first one, the one with the blown condenser on it right now, I replaced the LCD panel, the motherboard and the heat regulator. I replaced all that myself. They sent me the parts and I swapped them out, and it ran for another almost year before it finally died. But it was
well, and I'm gonna have Cowboy look at that. So they actually have a tech school now, tech training, and so Cowboy is seriously considering he's going to go ahead and take that class. And so then what he'll be able to do, he'll have everything. He'll have everything with him. He'll know how to use them and all of that, and he can literally do house calls and come and fix them.
Well,
and so then I'll have the two largest going, the extra large going. I think Skanes is planning on, correct me if I'm wrong, Skanes, she's going to need electrical. So I think she's hoping we have space for her so she can keep using it because she's a chapel queen. I gave her the chapel recipe and that's all she eats. Like she can't get enough of them.
If you know somebody that does refrigerator repair and can do condensers, you can get the part and have them fix it yourself. The big thing is you don't want to ruin your warranty if you have a problem before the warranty runs out. And they've all got a one year full warranty and a 3-year limited warranty after that. Yeah. So,
our first one is out of warranty.
Well, the first one is
the one with the condenser.
9 years old, 10 years old. I mean, we've had it for 5 or 6.
Yeah. Had a while.
And it's been moved twice, 3 times.
3 times.
And so, and it's, so they run. Okay. Skin says she hasn't eaten Doritos for a decade or sodas. Let's see here.
What is that? Anti said?
I don't know. I'm trying to get there. A 2-year-old girl left at the border with
a note on
girl with a
left at the border with a note on him.
Does not surprise me.
You know what? It was very interesting. Tom Holman actually made a comment. So, and this is the first time anybody has actually gotten some sort of number. And I knew they were working on this and they were trying to figure it out. I'm just not sure that even that number is accurate. He said his first priority is to find the 8,000 missing children.
No, 300,000.
Was it 300,000?
300,000 missing children.
300,000 missing children from that border crossing. And so that's their first agenda that they're going to start working on. And I say, great. And to the parents that left that 2-year-old child, your desperation, that is your desperation. What you did to that child and how you compromised that child, that is sad.
Yeah, they had one of the border agents got up there and flat out said in front of Congress that the United States government is the largest child trafficking organization in the in the country.
Yeah.
Lucy said, my son-in-law is a licensed for refrigeration. He does all my repairs, and too bad we live so far apart. Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
If only somebody were willing to move down to the lower 48.
Bring him with you when you come and visit.
Get out of Kanukistan. Man, I'll tell you what, I feel sorry for our brothers and sisters up north. Seriously, the stuff going on in that country. Hopefully,
can you imagine? That was a country that we used to look at and literally admire. The Mounties, and I mean, remember there were even cartoons with the mounted horses and all that.
Lucy, what's the name of the guy that's running against Trudeau? I see shorts of him all the time, and that man's got a backbone, and he's if he gets put in charge, I think your country can get turned around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he's gonna have a bigger chore than what Trump's got. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Cowboy, that's interesting that you said that, because Cowboy said the same thing. The most difficult is the refrigeration. So, but I can't wait for him to take that, and we're going to use him. So, because you get burned out on it and that kind of thing, and he's just as good trying to get through everything. So,
well, and I was thinking if it turns out that the problem with the large freeze dryer is the heat board,
which is the same thing that happened at Chris's, and Chris's is brand new. So it just so happens, like, I had several freeze dryers in the community, and everybody's like, you can use ours. That's what I was saying. I know that the SOE party is going to be so good, and our business is going to take off, because it has been a challenge after challenge after challenge. Like, all of our freeze dryers have an issue right now. And so, to the point that we're like, who has a freeze dryer in storage? Can we borrow it? So that's kind of what we're going through right now.
Did they say it was the heat controller?
His is yep. It's the something in the heat sensor. Yep, same problem.
Well, sensor and board are two separate things.
Well, it's not on the board. It's in
the tray.
It's in the tray, because
if ours turns out to be the board, and the tray doesn't need to go away, and his still isn't fixed, you can take the tray over there and see if it gets his up and running.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they've got a lot of milk they need to get done.
Lynn says that he's born in Detroit, used to go to Windsor for lunch and bar hopping. Not so easy now since 2001. Oh yeah, we did a port call in Vancouver, and I'll tell you what, that Vancouver is a gorgeous city, and it's got a fantastic nightlife. Pierre, Polivier, is that right? Pierre Polivier. I can't pronounce that last name. Hopefully I didn't ruin it too terribly bad. But yeah, you know. So and then speaking of illegal immigration, did you see in the news today that the president of Mexico made a comment that they are turning? Oh, bring that over so they can see that.
Oh, it's like leaking.
Oh, her pie's leaking all over the tray.
Lucy will appreciate it.
But she said they're going to start turning caravans back.
Do you see it? Apple pie crumble.
Certainly smells good.
Yeah, it's still great.
Certainly smells good.
Yeah.
Devil Dog says he used to go to Windsor for lunch. Cadillac Jack's got the best burgers. There you go. Oh, Can Squatch says yum.
Yeah.
He liked that. Oh, you guys. If you guys could smell it, your mouth would be watering. My mom's best friend married a guy from Canada. They lived at Elrose, Saskatchewan, and farmed. Oh, Lucy says she can smell that all the way up in Ontario.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, the Mexicans say they're going to start turning people back. And then you got Katie Hobbs, the governor of Arizona, saying that she's talking about sending the National Guard to the border. You know, it's really kind of funny. You know, at 4 p.m. local time, Hezbollah and Israel signed a permanent as can be in the Middle East, peace agreement to stop fighting. And they flat out said it was the reason Iran went for it was because of Trump. We've got people in the government going, I'm going to leave. I'm going to get out of the government if Trump takes office. And okay, yeah, you're finally on board. You're on the same page we are, government employees. You know, it's really funny how him getting elected has changed people's tunes.
I didn't put marshmallows. I was like, what is she talking about? I didn't put marshmallows in there. I know what she's talking about.
Oh.
She's the styrofoam noodles. And because I used to freeze dry marshmallows. I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm sure we clearanced all those out.
Them and those mints they put in the bathroom. Guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Starla says Kitty Hobbs is wishy-washy.
That apple pie tastes good.
I bet it does.
Oh man, I didn't get a slice. There was a little bit that juiced over, because you pile it high and then do the crumble on top of it. And so I was like, well, shouldn't let anything that spills over go to waste.
No, you taking one for the team.
I had to make sure I got to taste the product.
But she was before the live started. She was making the pie, and then she's standing there with her phone stuck up in the air like this. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm trying to get a picture to go.
Grandbaby was going nuts.
She was worried that Oma had forgotten to
make the homemade cranberry sauce.
Homemade cranberry sauce. So she was making the sauce and taking pictures, and then
I just took a picture of the cranberries so that she knew I'm on it.
And then our grandson,
wants peas.
Our son texted saying baby boy wants peas, and even though he's not really quite sure he understands what peas are,
because they were eating peas for dinner. Yeah. So, but I've got peas. We'll get them some peas. I'll just make a small dish of that.
Yeah. Rose says she just made 3 small apple pies and keto version of Dutch apple and regular pizza dough. Look at you go, girl. Yeah. She's a little keto culinary wizard.
She's doing good.
Has anyone having trouble with the chat getting disconnected?
That's not good.
I heard
our chat.
I was on a couple of lives today, and they were complaining about it too.
Is that happening on this one?
I don't know. It's not in StreamYard. It doesn't look like it is, but they were on YouTube. Devil Dog wants to know if Tiger got her cannon. Then she said, "Not even close." It did, but it'll happen.
It takes a while. It takes a minute.
Yeah. So, but you made apple pie and
pumpkin pie.
We had to buy a turkey. I did not. I was not in the mood to kill a turkey last week, and so Saturday
so we'll all be sleeping Thursday afternoon.
Saturday or Sunday I asked her if she wanted me to kill the turkey yesterday, and she's like, "No, just buy one."
It's just too late. It's got a cure. It's got there's so much to it, and so. You do that. You were going to do that when Sunday?
I was going to do it Sunday so you could cook it.
Yeah, he was going to do it Sunday, and I was just like, no, there's not enough time to cure it, and I don't want any funky tasting, crap. So I was very particular in which turkey that I purchased.
Are you singing Zombie while you're doing the cranberries?
Am I singing Zombie?
Zombies is the Cranberries hit song or one of their songs.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know.
Gaines says her chat's going out too.
Interesting.
Might be our connection, folks. Seriously, if the video, I don't know if the video's not hanging up, then it's probably YouTube.
Who knows anymore?
They're
like, let's squash.
You ended up paying what, 88 cents a pound for a turkey. It's only a 12-pound turkey, but quite honestly, we don't need a big bird this year, even though the kids are coming up. I am going to do one for Christmas. I am going to get one in the freezer for Christmas.
We need to go get Slater. So Slater needs to get over here so that we know which of the other toms that we need to butcher. And I think I know which one it is. So,
so we've only got 2 toms, and I really don't want to butcher one and be left with one, because if something happens, then we're out of tom. We're out of mature tom. So,
right.
So I want to have it.
But
I don't want 3 toms, but I don't want 1 tom.
B and Tag have Slater. I just need to go get them. The hang up on getting them is it's either raining. The dog crate fell apart. I've got to get you to get me another dog crate so I can go and get them. Because he's going to have a large dog crate. Because they have to, how do you put it? see each other and get used to each other and that kind of thing. And then we can let them out. And I guarantee you within 3-5 days or so, we'll know which Tom we need to butcher. But I'm hoping it's not Slater because I've got another one slate that survived.
Yeah, well,
and I would like
slate hen.
And Slater is a Tom, and I really love those. The slates are just amazing. So I really love them. They're pretty to look at, they're pretty to watch, and they're very docile. So I really want Slater to work out. But
yeah, but well, I guess Turk is younger than the other hens.
Yeah, and I think if
she's considerably smaller at this point.
I think if Slater gets over here, I think her and Slater they'll just be like, "Hey, what you doing? Need a Tom? I'm here for you."
So Angela's pimping out our turkey. Devil Dog says he can.
Pumpkin pie filling. Nice.
Wait a second. The bulb book says pumpkin will kill you if you try to can it.
Oh my god.
Doesn't it say that? This is why we don't use the term rebel canning. That is verboten. That's when she gives her canning classes, nobody is allowed to use that term.
Nope, it's heritage canning.
It's heritage canning. Because people have done pumpkin pie, homemade pumpkin pie filling canned and pumpkin chunks.
I even do pureed pumpkin. I do all kinds of stuff.
You made a soup a couple years ago that was off the chart.
Pumpkin soup. I've also done the butternut squash soup and that kind of thing. In fact, did you notice I got 2 butternut squashes up there?
That. You gonna bake those?
They're begging me to either stuff them or make a soup.
I would stuff them.
Is that what you want?
With meat.
Okay.
With meat. I would fall off the carnivore diet for a day for that.
Okay.
Amber has 20 pounds of apples to can after Turkey Day.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, I am appled out. All my pie filling is done. Everything is done. So I don't want to see another apple until next fall.
The ones that are left on the tree, we're getting a hard freeze tonight. So they should be falling off the tree.
Hopefully
completely.
They'll bring in that 8-point buck.
I hope so.
So there's a beautiful buck out there.
Deer season starts the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. So I don't know what's that, the 5th, I think.
Can't remember.
I think it's the 5th. Yeah. But so
which we won't be here the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Deer season is on my mind, and I swear to God, I know I say this every year. I swear to God, I'm shooting a deer this year.
Well, you're gonna have to, because we have a neighbor that the deer eating the corn, and he's so tired of the money that it's costing. He's like, come and shoot them all.
Well, I keep saying I'm gonna hunt, but to be honest with you, the last 3 years, I have hunted less than I hunted on opening day every single year for the prior 15.
Yeah,
seriously. I mean, I used to. Okay, so it's Thursday. It's Thursday then. But I used to take the entire week off and hunt, and just don't have a crew to do that with. So I just haven't been doing it, and I can always find other stuff to do.
Well, you were actually invited by a crew, so
well, Chris
Cowboy, everybody said
I need to get with him and find out where to hunt on the property. I actually printed off a map the other day. That's how serious I am. Hey, listen, over at my buddy's place in Missouri at the deer condo, we had range cards. We printed off a map and put ranges on it so you could see where all the distances were, and we would laser it and mark it. There were windows that you could open up, and the one window I marked all the yardages out. You just had to look down the line at a object and see how far away it was.
HG, I don't understand that. Do you understand that? Is that some kind of hunting thing or something like that?
Bob and Doug McKenzie. Yes, those are the 30-point
bucks
from Strange Brew.
Gotcha.
And Second City TV. Yeah. What was that? Rob Moranis and John and oh gosh, who was the other one? What's his name? Somebody look it up. But Rick Moranis was one of them, and it wasn't Levi, or was it? Eugene Levy. It wasn't Eugene Levy. It was the other dude. Anyway, great comedy.
Oh, 30-point buck. I was like, what's a 30-point buck? So
That's saying it. If you were listening, get Terminator to say it.
Oh, in Canadian talk. Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Oh, speaking of freezer deer and that kind of thing, for my Kansas City peeps and anybody in the area, I would say, because it would be worth it, between an hour, 2 hours within DeSoto, Kansas. Billy Bond actually turned us on to a really, really good butcher. And
Canadian bacon.
And you can actually go ahead and tell him, you know, you want a half, you want a quarter, you want a whole, or whatever. And comes out butcher fee and everything about $4.39 a pound.
For a cow.
For a cow.
Yeah. And
so, you know, you tell him how you want your cuts, do all of that. And Billy says they do a really good job. So we're getting ours ordered probably next year. I think he's either friends with them or worked for them at some point. So I'm not super sure exactly where that connection is.
Maybe one of the guys from the oh gosh, what was the name of the butcher shop up there?
In KC,
yeah, up in North Kansas City.
I don't know. But unless maybe that butcher shop got some of those cows. I don't know.
Gregory says their firearm season ended Saturday or Sunday night. Next is black powder. Yeah, ours doesn't start until after the rut's over, which drives me nuts because
that's so stupid.
They've been up and moving for the last 2 weeks. And somebody got a 10-point buck down. I was talking with Charlie. Said somebody got one.
Oh, not the big massive man.
No, probably not. Yeah, Dave Thomas, Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. That's it.
We've got one buck that's running around here, and oh man, I just hope everybody leaves him alone because his offspring, they tend to be, those males, those bucks tend to be as big as he is.
I don't think that's the same buck. I think that's one of his offspring.
I hope not. I hope he sticks around.
Yeah. But yeah, there's the buck I saw the first year we moved in. I went out just right out the front door. And straight out the front door, no more than 100 yards away, there was this buck that was just gorgeous.
Yeah, look, you're chasing everybody out with all your hunting talk. Starla's like, I'm out. Tiger's like, I'm out.
No. But his offspring, you can tell who his offspring are because he had a great big. Tiger's getting up at 4 a.m. That's why she's not getting out because.
No, I know.
But he had this great big black stripe running down his back, and his entire tail was black. And there are a ton of does and some bucks that I've seen running around that have this big black stripe. So I know that they're his offspring.
Oh, so Skanes is on here. Skanes, I got to tell you this. All right, so Skanes, I'm sitting. I think I was doing dishes or something. So we were talking about deer hunting and that kind of thing. And she starts telling me this craziness about, and just y'all just hang with me. And so she starts telling me this craziness about her going hunting and doing this kind of thing. And they had dogs and they're hunting deer with dogs. And I was like, what in the world? And I'm like, Garen would never hunt like that. They used to sit up there in the, what did you call it? Your deer condo. And they used to sit up there and he would get mad if somebody was coughing and he's like, quit smoking, Kelly, and you'll stop coughing. And then somebody else would be drinking something or doing something. Somebody was making noises and she would like freak out. And so I was like, I don't think he would ever do that. So I had never heard anything like it. And then so finally I remembered and I asked him, I said, have you ever heard of people hunting deer with dogs?
Hey, Virginia.
And what'd you say?
Well, it's in North Carolina and South Carolina in the Tidewater area.
That's how they do it.
I think they do it down in Georgia too. I'm not sure.
Apparently Louisiana.
But they do it. They do it because they've got these little tiny deer that they don't have great big deer like we do.
Oh, they're not as big as ours?
They're not. They're maybe half the size of whitetail.
Oh, okay.
Tell you what, though,
that makes sense.
One of the community members this weekend. Oh, we didn't talk about
Festivus for the rest of us.
Anyway, well, this is a good segue into it. So he was showing me. I guess out in western Kansas, they've got mule deer all the way out there.
Ooh,
that'd be fun. If you've never seen a mule deer, they are huge.
Huge.
So Freedom Festivus. We had that this weekend. That was what we did on Sunday.
Now, why do you keep calling it that? It's Festivus for the rest of us.
Somebody called it Freedom Festivus. I like
Freedom
Festival.
Can't change it. It's
anyway,
always been Festivus.
We had it. We had it this weekend at a event center there on the square, and it was nice. There were 80 some people there.
80.
There were 80 some people there. I mean, I remember the first time we got together for 4th of July at being Tag's old house. There were 12 people there, and that was the first get together that we were involved with the group.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's 80.
Yep.
In fact, there were people there that I did not know. Yep. One of the guys and his father-in-law was the first time they'd been there. We had a guy show up from Abilene, Kansas. He showed up at 7. Poor Kent. He thought it started at 7.
It got lost a little bit.
Got lost, yeah.
Oh, it was sad. And then, but it was interesting. Tag was running around and he's like, what is your best accomplishment? And I was like, I don't know. I have to really think of this one. And so then I gave an answer. I'm like, you need to ask G because his may be different. And so he was just trying to get to everybody and then get that. And I couldn't figure out what he was doing with that information. I thought he was going to do like, what am I grateful for? And that kind of thing. And like we were going Little House on the Prairie for a moment, and that is not what happened. And so he had all that, and he stood up and started to say something right before prayer when we say grace and before we eat. And he goes, here's the update for 2024.
Yeah.
And the update for 2024 is we've moved in, what was it, 26 families?
Something like
26 families have moved into the community to Homestead.
Or added
to the community.
Because they already lived in the area.
Added to the community. And then what was it? 2 Homestead businesses are flourishing, started really getting going. And I mean, it just continued from there. And then, of course, we have other families that keep adding younger members. And it was interesting because as we were praying, you could just hear all the pitter patters all over the room running around and, those kind of things. And it was like, you can't grab the child and tell them just to be quiet because this is something we've prayed for a very long time. We were trying to figure out how to get youngers into the community because we have to continue this. We have to not teach them, but we need to encourage them and help them learn and do all of that and keep that going. So it was really nice seeing Shane and his wife. I didn't get to talk to her, got to talk to Shane a little bit. Unfortunately, he was having to leave, so it wasn't, and
had to go to work.
Had to go to work. But unfortunately, so we didn't have a good talk. But at Festivus, it is hard to sit down and actually have a really good talk because there's 80 people in the room and everybody's talking and we're all having conversations. So it's hard to get to other people.
There was good food there.
Yep.
There was good conversation, good fellowship. I told Tag that my greatest accomplishment, and I honestly believe this, is the fact that I get out of bed every day and go to work. That I power through all the crap that I got to deal with on a daily basis, and I get up and I go to work and I'm productive. At some level, I may not be as productive as I want to be, but I'm productive at some level.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really good. It was good to see everybody and all of that. And then, what was interesting so I had to run. I needed to get clams. I didn't have any clams set aside for the stuffing. And so I needed to go get clams, the fresh cranberries, things like that, whatever we can't store and put all that. I was really shocked and extremely thankful. So I went and got the things that we could not necessarily hold back, store, do all of that. And that wasn't processed and that kind of thing. And so I went and got some fresh goods. Holy moly. I could not imagine if I didn't have things that we already have, that grocery bill, I think an average Thanksgiving, we only have 6 people. We could probably feed 12 on it. I would think that the average bill for Thanksgiving. I'm interested if anybody has bought anything. I'm going to say Thanksgiving this year for the average family is in reality. And they were saying it was only going to be like $125. I call BS. You're talking like $350, $400. So
I believe it.
and that's fresh and organic. You're not filling yourself full of chemicals. So what did Lynn say?
Lynn said that I'm a Marine. That's the only accomplishment you need. That's all downhill once you get out, isn't it?
Oh dear.
I admit. Okay, it's starting to move really fast again. Skane says I have not been that productive this week, resting my tennis elbow because you play so much tennis.
Well, if you get the DMSO, then that wouldn't be an issue. I'm telling you. I'm moving, doing great.
Clam is better than Geoduck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness! So that's the state of things around here. I was looking through the news so we could update on some stuff that people don't normally talk about, and I found an article about California inspectors found bird flu in raw milk at a local store.
So ridiculous.
They didn't say where it was. Then the article went on, and they're going to use this against us. At some point, this is going to become critical. I'm
going to go put a log.
They said that there were 29 known cases of people getting avian bird flu. And out of the 29 cases, and I don't know if this was nationally or in California, but out of the 29 cases, all but one of them were dairy or avian or agriculture workers that were directly in contact with birds that were sick. Nobody else got sick. So they're gonna ramp this up. And California, they always overreact. And then and unfortunately California leads the way in the country, and the crazy stuff that starts out there eventually infects the rest of us. Now, Joe Rogan was talking about something he had heard that Caitlyn Jenner, aka Bruce Jenner, he's thinking about running for governor. Now, think about that.
Ugh.
You've got Gavin Newsom on one side, and you've got Caitlyn Jenner on the other side. How does a liberal, how does that rank on the victim scale for both of them? But because by all accounts, Caitlyn Jenner is a active Republican. He doesn't have a lot of liberal leanings aside from the obvious there. Who scores higher on the card there to get the vote? Seriously.
Oh, do you really want my answer? Do you really want to know what I'm going to say?
No, I don't want to.
Okay. Anybody who wants to know, I'll tell you.
Gregory says they're having about get down.
She's here.
Get her down.
You're hurting, but you're hurting me pushing her off.
Well, get her down.
Get down, baby.
But Gregory's doing 40 people, rented a hall for all of us. Should be fun.
Nice.
One of the things about this weekend, I had to step outside a couple times because I couldn't hear. I honestly couldn't hear at times. So there was that. The winter wheat in Kansas is 100% in the ground. They managed to finish it up last week, even though they only had 3 days they could get in the fields because it's been so wet around here. But
come on, Rabbit, come here for Thanksgiving if you want. Plenty of food.
Yeah. You sure you want him here?
No, why not?
He can bring Dr. Pepper and rum.
Our son is going to be here. I think he'll fit in just fine.
Great. Leonard wants to hear what Angela has to say, but I don't want the channel channel canceled.
It won't. But no. So seriously, if those were my only two picks, you have a past record, and then even though I don't know, it's so hard for me to call him Caitlyn. It really is.
No, he changed his name.
So I can call him Caitlyn?
Yeah, he changed his name. He legally changed his name.
Okay. So Caitlyn Jenner tends to be more on the conservative side, believe it or not, and is fighting very, very hard to stop the manipulation of transgender changes under the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
And, especially with some of the crap that's coming out, I heard something about one of the John Does that they're putting out is at 2 years old, decided that she was a boy and now is 8, and they're fighting for her to get a change.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I'm floored by this, and Caitlin is a advocate. I see. I have a problem with this.
No,
So
he's a he.
He has stood up and he has said, "This is wrong. We're not going to do this." And then he's talked about a position on illegal immigration and that kind of thing, on sex trafficking and all that. My vote would go to Caitlyn Jenner. It would. And so, there's that. I don't know. Don't be mad at me. It's just that's what I would do. So
I don't live in California, so I don't have a dog in the hunt.
Right.
I just think it's funny because it's going to cause, if he does run, it's going to cause a lot of cognitive dissonance in the liberals out there.
I think you're right. I think he was considering it, but I'm not sure that he actually went, because isn't that, if I remember correctly, isn't that when who's the other one that thinks women are stupid and he thinks he's a woman, and that the model or something like that? Remember the whole, what was it? It destroyed Bud Light. Women are stupid. Like, I don't even know what March Madness is. Oh my God. And so Caitlyn actually spoke out against that and said, let's stop treating women like this. This is not okay. So I thought he was talking about running, but around that time when he started speaking out, he dropped out or something like that, or decided not to.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Gregory, we've got a lot of rain. We are not, the entire state is not out of the drought category, but it's way better than it has been. In fact, the winter wheat, so for anybody that doesn't know, whenever they plant wheat and they grade it and it goes from very poor to very good or something like that, there's like 6 different categories. And only 12% of the wheat crop was categorized as poor or very poor, which is the first time in a long time it's been that low. So they're looking at having not a big increase, but a little bit of an increase in the output this year. Hey, there's the man, the myth, the legend. What's up, Chuck? Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney. So,
yeah, that's it.
But
yeah, that person is just a piece of.
And speaking of transgenders, it came out today that now whether it happens or not is to be seen. We won't know until the day it happens. But the rumor is that Trump is going to discharge all trans people out of the military the very first day, on the first day.
I don't know if he can do that.
He can. He's got the power.
Really?
He's got the power. He can do that. He can.
I mean, it would. I'm not gonna lie. It would be helpful, and it would cause some relaxation among other service members, and it would actually appease a lot of the taxpayers to know that we're not paying for their.
Forget all that. It makes the military better.
Yeah.
It does, because there's 15,000 people in the military right now that are considered trans and they're undergoing treatment. Those people are non-deployable. They cannot be sent overseas.
I didn't know that.
No, you can't be sent overseas because you've got a medical condition that needs continually taken care of. So you're literally non-deployable.
So they're getting a paycheck to do nothing.
Well, but
pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay, now hold on a second. You can't say it like that, because there are a whole bunch of people that are non-deployable that are good, solid members of the military. And I'm not saying the trans people aren't, but the difference is these guys that aren't deployable because of a medical case, they didn't go out there and have an elective surgery. All right. In fact, when I was in, and when Len and I were in, if people got elective surgeries that made them undeployable, they got booted out of the military. You know, so trans people aren't the people they used to be.
Discharging trans is a medical discharge, worse than flat feet.
You know, and it's got nothing to do with the quality of the people. All right, now I agree there. I agree there. It used to be body dysmorphia used to be considered a mental illness, and they reclassified it. In fact, it is the only thing that's ever been classified as a mental illness where the treatment that the treatment is to increase it, increase the activity. So if you're schizophrenic, they try to make it less by giving you drugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Body dysmorphia is the only mental state where they take and say, go ahead, run with it. Be all you can be.
Yeah, Tamara said, why does that make them undeployable?
Well, Tamara, because you've got number one, if you're on hormones like that, like at the level of hormones that trans people have to take.
Like you're totally gonna snap?
No, you can't be on that amount of drugs and be deployed. All right, you can't do it. Number two, if you have the surgery, if you get a lopidectomy, right? Think about it.
Okay.
If you get one of those, you literally have an open wound that you have to keep open, right? It's literally people that have that done will spend the rest of their lives keeping that wound open. You cannot do that and be deployable. All right, at that point in time, it becomes a medical condition that makes you unable to serve. Period. And you know, okay, I know it's gross, but this is the reality. This is the reality of what that movement.
See, does. I agree with anti. I really do.
Okay.
Send them to the front of the line. Send them to the front of the line. They should be overseas and they should be in the front of the line. The very people that they want to identify with are the very people that want them dead.
You know, that's all fine and dandy to say, but the reality of the situation.
You don't want somebody like that on the front of the line.
No, no. They put fellow soldiers at risk.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You'll get people
That's
killed.
What I'm saying, you don't want them on the front of the line. Yes.
Well, Devil Dog, I'm going to burst your bubble, brother. I hate to do this to you, dude. There were homosexuals in the military when you were in. There were homosexuals in the military when Len and I were in. The difference was they didn't advertise it. And,
don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, and they did not make it their entire identity, and they did not insist that everybody else cater to them. Right. And that's a huge difference.
Oh, VR said that she's actually seen somebody get denied all the medical.
I was friends with an enlisted man who was diagnosed by the Navy with gender dysmorphia about a decade ago. They would not cover the surgery or cater to his mental disorder. He took his release. Yeah, and that's what they used to do whenever somebody did that. If you look at all the quote unquote pioneers of the trans military movement, they're all people that got out. It did not happen in the military.
Tamara, stop it. No, don't put.
Just think about it. Oh, yeah. Or, man, the Israelis got all female tank crews. And at the risk of sounding disgusting, it's got to stank. That tank's got to stank.
What do you mean? Why?
Because you get out in the field. I mean, you get out in the field and you don't take a shower for a week.
Yeah.
All you got, and back in the day, we didn't even have baby wipes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
You get a funk, and No offense, ladies.
But men smell worse than women, right?
Not during certain periods of the month. I'm just saying. Hey, Randy, you came in at a good point, didn't you?
Sorry.
No, we're talking about the realities of trans people in the military and the problems that arise out of that.
And then somebody else brought up, all women military, that kind of thing would be bad. So
yeah, see, and Len and I were in DC whenever they rescinded the "don't talk, don't ask, don't tell" policy. Whenever Clinton did that, in fact, Len, I don't know if you remember it, but they told us flat out. They said, "Do not talk to reporters. If they try to talk to you, do not talk to them about it." Which I was more than happy to abide by.
Right. Nobody's talking about that, and that was a really big deal too. I mean, a lot of people were mad.
Hey, Alger Ranch, how you doing? New face. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I think it's a good thing. And of course, I had a conversation with a Army major, former Marine, or a Marine veteran who became a major in the National Guard. And I'm a firm believer that women should. I agree with Pete Hagesmith. Women should not be in direct combat roles like infantry.
I agree with that.
I don't have any problem with the female pilots, unless they're a helicopter pilot that was in our battle group that couldn't put a skid on the aircraft carrier without tipping it over. But that's another topic. No, I don't have a problem with that. But sticking them in combat arms where you're in the field for a month at a time, and the physical differences between men and women, and sure, I'm not gonna debate the fact that there are women out there in the military that can physically compete with men, but as a rule and as a gender, that's not the case. All right, the whole female Ranger graduates, they changed the rules. In fact, they started doing that whenever Len and I were in, back in the 80s and 90s. They started changing the rules, and they came up with two standards, which was fine, because at that point in time, the women were not in combat roles, and women were not put into positions where the body strength and all that was a big issue. They were mostly clerical people and supply people. But the feminists started demanding that they get put into the same roles as men. And then
that was a huge mistake.
Then you're running two different standards, right? And this major and I, she was very offended by what I said, and I was like, "Look, I'm not being sexist. I'm not saying it, but it's true. It's all true." Yeah. And then
look what Lynn says. Yeah, pull-ups versus body hang time.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, and this does make me. I understand that this is a little bit sexist. Women are too precious to risk them in that situation. Seriously,
Let's see. Aw.
No, it's not awe.
No, it's an awe for me. No, it is. That's sweet. That is very sweet that you think.
Look, dudes.
Yeah.
One guy. It takes one female to make one baby. It takes one dude to make 100 babies. Seriously, that's the difference. Okay. And as
well, then you put it that way, and it's like, well, that moment just passed.
Well,
but I mean,
well, but they're too precious. They're too precious. They're too important.
I get it.
Virginia Roots. I hate that movie. G.I. Jane didn't ring the bell. I've never seen a bird feel sorry for itself. Yeah, I hate that movie. That movie is so stupid. Oh my God, it did. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, there's some really great female pilots. Yeah, see, and like I said, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. Because it's a different skills, not skill set. It's different ability set, if you will. And don't get me wrong, those pilots, they take a beating in those planes.
Yeah,
they take a beating. I've seen those dudes getting out of a cockpit after an 8-hour tour in the Northern Gulf, and even though they're flying way up high, when they started dodging missiles, they'd come out just drenched in sweat.
Yep.
you know. But let's see here. Agree, Grumpy. A woman can procreate roughly once a year. A man millions, exactly. You know. Well, and you know, you run into problems. You run into problems with guy number one, sex. That's a huge problem. The thought of that in a unit in combat just really it boggles my mind. But then you got guys, you know, putting the females ahead of the mission, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen because guys are guys, and that's what we do. Especially if you're a bunch of alpha dudes, right? The biggest incentive for men to go to war throughout history and time was to protect their women and children. Absolutely, hit it right on the nail, right there. Tamber says I'm still sweet.
Yeah, somebody else said that too, but
no, it was Tamber. She said it had to be said twice. Hey, you know, but there it is. That's my personal stance, and it really concerns me that chances are looking really good that in the near future we are going to see exactly what happens whenever the social experiment that the left has used the military for meets the road. You know, when it comes into having to actually do its job. You know.
HG. Oh my God. That's so true. And we welcome it. We're like, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And we should be. And I think that's one thing I hope that everybody in the chat, you know, has gotten to the point where they're tired of it all. They're tired of everything that's going on, and they're starting to speak up. You know, you realize that our community, one of the things that we talked about Sunday was Saturday. No, Sunday. One thing that we talked about was the political changes we made in the community. It's because we got tired of it, and we finally stood up and started changing things. You know, they literally changed the zoning committee recommendations because of our sitting back and complaining. But they're going to try to do it. They're going to try to do it on the 12th. They've got a meeting. Is that
the 12th?
On the 12th, they've got a meeting, and they're going to try to.
And we'll be there.
They may try to push it through again. If they can't push it through on the 12th, it's not going to happen this year. So it's going to be another 6 months before they can try.
I think Linda Gerhardt, the new commissioner coming in, I do believe she's flippable. So I think we're going to have to watch this for the next 2 years. To be honest with you, I don't think the fight ends. So
females in the military extend foreign deployments more than men on a base far from home. They have very little competition. Yeah, the deployment 3 becomes a 10 after a couple of months. The conservative side has been silent way too long.
Way too long. Well, way too long.
You know, here's the deal, guys. You know, and I suspect that a lot of you are like me. You just want to be left alone, right?
Being left alone would be beautiful.
Yeah, you just want to be left alone. But here, I want to play something for you guys.
What'd you find?
Let me pull this up. Hang on a second, guys.
Oh gosh, are you going back in there?
Okay. Hang on. Bear with me.
This guy was banned from Facebook for
if you have seconds.
Oh, come on.
While you're doing that.
Rumble. Stop. I'm trying to get on Rumble. Okay. Boom. Okay. Hang on. Let me get back in here. Okay. Be forewarned. There's some cursing in this video. So if you are offended, it's about 3 minutes long. If that long, I think. Where is it? Window. There it is. Share. Can you guys? Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, let me get this. Let me get that up.
The United States of America has become the meanest country on the planet. And when I say that with most respect. you how I know this because Trump has appointed almost 90% of his cabinet is Gen X. Gen X does not care about your feelings. I don't know how many times we have to say this, okay? You can say, "Oh, you're so mean. You're so mean." Yes, we are mean. We've been holding it all inside because we've been told that, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that." Well, yeah, we can. And now we're in charge. So the mean kids are in charge. We're gonna get stuff done. And if that is not okay with you, then you're gonna need to take a time out to go to a safe space, cry on your pillow, bottle it up. Because if you cry, we see you crying, you're either gonna get a wedgie, a noogie, or a biff. And one time I biffed my cousin so hard in the face that I made her nose bleed. And I was whooped for that. That was an experience. But did it stop me? No, it didn't stop me. Nope, it didn't stop me. So just I need to warn you, if
Can you guys hear this?
What is about to come is going to be hard for you, but it is going to be good for you. Okay? So we're doing this for the whole country's betterment. I promise you. I'm on board. And sometimes we're mean to each other too. Gen X is fine with that. We can handle that. No big deal. But the rest of you, put on your helmets, get a little movie, get your little blanket, and go sit down. Because if the wave of mean is about to crack.
Oh, was it quiet? Anyway, try captions added. Virginia says, yeah, basically, I agree with that woman. You know, you look at, oh, it's in and out. I apologize. Basically, what the woman was saying was Gen X is in charge now. And if you look at Trump's cabinet picks, they are all by and large, either really young boomers or Gen Xers.
No, I didn't see any boomers. Did you?
I
had 40s, 50s.
Some of them are older than I am, so that makes them boomers.
Okay.
So, you know, and it's going to change. It's going to change the direction of the country. You know, and it hopefully.
Yeah, they forget that the Gen Xers were the ones that were sat down and forced to write letters to foreign leaders to stop the nuclear war and stop warheads and get rid of all that stuff. And I mean, government literally trained us to be this way.
Okay, guys, after we're done here, I will post that link in the on the community page, so you can go watch it. It's in its entirety. Okay. Yeah, it's about to change. Virginia misses licking stamps.
Yeah. Oh, I got my ticket mailed out today.
Did you? That's
gonna hurt.
How'd you pay for it? Never mind. I
had to write a check.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know where that money came from. It couldn't have come from the household budget. I can tell you that.
No,
right
it didn't. So okay. I don't even know why you would ask, because you know where it came from.
I just want to make sure.
That was dumb. But
Virginia says she was. If one was a secretary, they had a little sponge and wet stamps in the office. Yeah. We had those at my house. My parents had those.
Yeah.
I always used to play with it. I don't know that young people have any idea. Yeah, I think
they're getting there. Oh, well, at least so. I would say some young people. We actually just had a conversation. We've been having the conversation for a few weeks now. So some of the moms and that kind of thing, and grandmas, and we were all talking. We have a lot more of the kids that are turning 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, that kind of thing. All juniors, like what, maybe 22, something like that. And they are interested and want to know, how do they become part of the community building? And that's how they're seeing it. They're seeing it as the community building. And I had made the comment when one of the moms said that, and I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "They're already part of the community, and the kids aren't seeing it that way." And so we were trying to figure out, okay, what is it that the kids are not seeing? We are the ones that are planning work days. We are the ones that are deciding what's going on and that kind of thing. We are the ones deciding what to do with classes, and the kids aren't thinking they're getting a vote and doing all of that. And so what we have decided with the moms, we're going to start putting work days together, and we're going to start making them work. And then we're going to start including some of the girls. Well, I mean, they'll either give them the opportunity to work and be part of a crew. And then we've decided, we'll start inviting and adding some of the girls to things the ladies do, baking and canning and doing all of that. Work days, the girls have always been there. We've all been there. And then so also special occasions when we take little trips up to Amish territory and that kind of thing, they'll start coming with us. So we're just super excited. The youngers are actually asking how they can get involved.
Yeah. So Lynn says what the left doesn't realize is that Trump isn't the villain. He's their last chance. If he fails, the civil unrest probably won't be government. Right. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And Tamara says the young won't listen. Alger's 100% correct. You realize that I think a lot of young people are waking up for sure.
Yes.
You realize the fastest growing demographic for conservative thought is men 18 to 25 years old. And it's a reaction to them being told their entire lives that they need to shut up and sit down and take Ritalin and defer to all these other people, and that they're being told that they're not men. And that was one of the conversations that you had with one of the moms. Yep. Is that these young men don't feel as though they've got worth as a man.
Like literally to have a 14-year-old sit there and look at his girlfriend, and I'm going to keep this very generic, but it touched me. And because I know how his father is, and so I want to be careful how I say this, but it touched me. It was very important to him to ask the girl that he's quote unquote dating, right? They're not really dating. We're talking to homeschool kids here, and so this is more controlled than usual. And so he actually made the comment, and he asked his girlfriend, and he said, "Does your dad like me as a person?" This was very important to him at 14, extremely important to him. And so then, she was like, "Why would he ask that?" And started talking. And this is how beat up he is. This is how he's been taught. He's not a young man. He's not going to be a man. He's, I don't want to say worthless, but he doesn't see any value or self-worth.
Because he's 14. That's the way. That's
well, but I think
all 14
for him to be looking for some self-worth, I think that speaks volumes.
All 14-year-old boys are like that.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't remember our boy being like that.
Yeah, so. He was. That's when they start rebelling.
No, he's not rebelling.
No,
well, that's
that time when they're trying to find themselves, Angela. They're
Well, I think then it is very important that he's around like-minded men. I think exactly. I think this is our opportunity as a community to start bring up and help these single moms with their kids.
And somebody made the comment that they think that things are going to stay the same. And be honest. When we were 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, we thought the same way. The difference was we did not live in a society that had a group of people trying to tear it apart from the bottom up. Right? We did not have that. All right.
No, if anything, at that age, we were actually kind of sort of in a way. I think Lynn can attest to this too. We were building community because Marines, everybody was a family. And that's why I had no problem. Lynn gets on to me. He's like, "I had no idea what your finances were." Like, dude, Washington, D.C., an apartment kid, and he's like, "Why didn't you say something?" And blah, because I didn't need to. Well, I figured out how to make everything stretch. I figured out how to feed everybody. You make everything from scratch, and you do that. And you don't ever make anybody feel like they're, what's that word? What I'm trying to think, like they're taking advantage, or that's not the word either. Doggone it. inconveniencing anybody. And so that's not the point. And that was one of the things that Karen said. And so, and I read my book and did all of that. And so, you know, you're a Marine wife and you figure out how to make sure that not just your husband, but everybody that is with him feels welcome. And then you do all of that. And so that's what we did.
She's absolutely correct. You were thinking, but your thinking was very narrow and very specific. If you're like the rest of us.
What do you say? I can't see.
You said at that age, at that age, I wasn't really thinking.
Oh.
Yeah. You were thinking. You just weren't thinking about the important stuff.
Right.
You know, so it's changing. You're seeing a snapback. Question is, how far is it going to snap back, and what's the repercussion going to be for the country?
Oh, we're all going to be punished. Oh, we sold another freeze dryer. They're not sure if they're going to buy it for the Black Friday sale. They're really hoping to get it before Black Friday sale is over. I talked to them a little bit, and so otherwise it may be next year before they can grab it. But we have another one out the door, and I told her, I'm like, music in my ears, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can you imagine how beautiful is it that if we could get every neighbor with the freeze dryer, nobody had
Algae Ranch, thanks for popping in, seriously.
Yeah.
The people in chat are extended family. They're part of the extended community, and they make it worthwhile, because quite honestly, I'm to the point now where I'm not doing it for myself anymore. You know, so, and if you subscribe, you subscribe. If not, even if you don't subscribe, pop in. Seriously, pop in anytime you want. And we have these kind of discussions. They kind of roam all over the place, and they're not necessarily, I try to keep them aimed at homesteading for the first part, but as you can see, they wander all over the place. Lots of squirrel chasing here. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And guys, don't forget to hit that like button too. Let YouTube know that you like this type of contact.
Yeah, we'll see you again. And if both of you subscribe, make sure that at least one of you joins us on Ladies Night Live. There will not be one on Thursday, as it's Thanksgiving and it's family time. But on Monday, we play, as girls, a girl panel, we play WROL, World Without Rule of Law. And so we play that, and usually give away a couple ducks if you can guess the word.
And I have not been doing any, I have not been hosting it, but I've been going over on Rescue's channel. That's what Kissoff's talking about. I've been going over on Rescue's channel, been about once a month doing it, but we go over there and we do it at like 6:30 in the morning and run for a couple hours, usually on a weekday that I have off, or on a Saturday or Sunday. Of course, he's got his own deck. He won a deck of cards. So he may just kick me to the curb.
By the seat of his pants and just do his own thing.
He may just kick me to the curb and do it. He doesn't need me at all. You know? Yeah, Randy's right. We are
all the time,
over the place.
All the time.
That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, we got our sharecroppers check today. That was kind of sweet.
Sharecroppers?
Is it sharecropper? What do they call it?
Co-op dividend check.
Co-op dividend check today, and so that
which is nice, because it's going to pay. It's going to partially pay for
your dental work,
some dental work that I had done.
So we were like, this is a nice surprise. And of course, you know, like, I've got it laying out. I'm not trying to hide it, so I have it laid out. Usually, you don't notice it, and I'm like, oh, I can get grandbaby this, I could do this, I could do that. And then also in the same bulk mail was the dental bill, and I'm like, I bet this is where it goes. And he claimed it. So I'm like, well, you gotta do that.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Our financial situation is not dire. Okay. So as I'm talking about this, don't think that we're on the verge of bankruptcy or getting kicked out, you know.
No,
having the tax people come take it.
We like to be comfy.
Well,
and not have to
2024 has really eaten into our emergency fund.
The entire Biden administration has eaten into our emergency fund.
Well, 2024.
Let's just be honest.
We've had a lot of equipment that went down that had to be fixed, and we've got a Jeep that's down right now and a mower that's down right now that were supposed to be fixed, but they didn't because other stuff happened, right? And and it's not like we can't refill it and can't do all that, but it seriously got me thinking. So a buddy of mine, I think I talked about it last time we had a live. You know, a buddy of mine selling his engraving company and had the opportunity to buy it come up in 2020.
We'd have done it.
We would have done it
in a heartbeat.
We would have had the money for the down payment, and we would have had the financial ability to.
We probably could have just paid cash for it.
No, we didn't have that much.
In 2020, yes, we did. No, do you remember what happened in 2020? Yes, we did. It's when I got my kitchen redone.
No, we still wouldn't have been enough.
I don't know.
But anyway, you know, I would have jumped on that in a heartbeat and got it up and going, and I would have kept him on as an employee if he wanted to, and you know, I'd probably be out of IT by now. But we
Rabbit, no super chats. Don't even joke. Don't put that in anybody's head or anything like that. That's not necessary.
Okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. I said this in that video on Monday. Was it Monday? Sunday I posted that video. We will accept super chats. I'm not gonna tell anybody not to do it. We would rather that you go out and hit our affiliate links. And the reason being is because when you go to these affiliate links, these are things that we use that we know are good. We know are good products or good companies to deal with. And by using these companies, you're helping yourself, and as a subsidiary of that, you're helping us. You know, and that's what we want. We want everybody. Didn't get a check from the USDA. You know?
Speaking of which, I want to let everybody know Black Friday. So Chase Medical, you need to make sure and go check them out. You automatically get $25 $25. Automatically get $25 off of your order. So go out there, take advantage of that. It's one day only. It's the only time you get it.
No,
it's one day only.
No, it runs till the 3rd.
Are you sure? Ashley said one day only.
I looked at the thing.
Okay. Well, so you go
do it on Black
check
Friday.
It out.
Do it on Black Friday. And I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get a video up tomorrow morning about Jace Medical. She kind of stole my thunder.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to do a video
we should
about
talk
Jace
about
thunder.
These things ahead of time.
You don't.
I don't what? Are you going to yell at me?
No.
Yeah? No. You'll go fight for me, but you yell at me.
What about mediocre chats? Yeah. Those are like food stamps. Oh, speaking of that, we're getting close to the end. This is another story I read, and I really like this one. This one gives me hope. The story was about how President Trump, once he gets into office, can actually use executive orders to have the regulations for SNAP, which is the
Medicare things.
Yeah, the Medicare, the SNAP that
I thought that was really
supplemental nutrition and something else.
Yeah, like they pay for your groceries and that kind of thing. You get a credit card or something. Yeah,
but they've had a really hard time redoing that because it's the libs, one of the libs' favorite things.
Right.
But he can use executive directive to make it so it's easier to rewrite those regulations in the next farm bill, which it's long overdue because one of the things that Trump did in his first administration, it's not quite like
food stamps.
It's not quite like food stamps.
So the way that I understand it is that like when you go into your Medicare plan and then you have to do your supplemental and that kind of thing, you go in and do it. I'm not old enough. I'm only seeing what's on TV, so I don't know for a fact. But depending on what location you live in, what it's looking like, it's more inner city and that kind of thing. You'll qualify for another benefit, and that benefit is SNAP. Well, that SNAP comes with, it's a credit card. You get X amount of money. You can buy groceries.
And it's for children.
No, the SNAP is for adults. It's for Medicare. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So
no, the EBT. The EBT is for the adults.
No, EBT is for people that are poor.
Yeah. And
Medicare is adding SNAP.
Anyway.
I swear to you, Medicare is adding SNAP.
No, it is part of the Medicare thing. It is. But
well, Medicare is for people 65 and older.
I guess, I guess it used to be known as the food stamp program. Nation's most important anti-hunger program. But anyway, they're looking at rewriting it. And as I was saying,
So what, you can make more money and they're going to give you more money for food?
the one thing that I don't know.
So now I can have a fur coat
No.
and buy groceries
No,
with
the one,
food
if you let me
stamps?
finish my sentence, I'll tell you what the change is, why this is promising. During Trump's first administration, anytime he dealt with welfare programs like that, he tried increasing the necessity for them to be in work programs. So people weren't getting it basically for free. It was actually predicated on working in a program of some sort and trying to become employed to get off the program. But so that it's promising. It's that type of change.
No, those you won't highlight. I'm kidding. You don't have to. I'm just giving you a hard time. Don't worry about it.
Amber says SNAP is for old people.
Yes, it's Medicare. I mean, I understand. I think it's just getting confused. So, but EBT is what the food stamp program used to be. So, because remember they took it electrical, or not electrical, electronic. And so now they get so much on a card and that kind of thing. But I mean, food stamps, that was when, like, same as WIC, when you had the little, remember the little compartment.
I was thinking of WIC. I was thinking of the WIC program.
Yeah, that's for children and babies. Yeah, moms. Yeah. I mean, there's so much of it. That's how they keep everybody confused, because you don't know what to fight.
Yeah.
So
people get those food stamps and use it to buy seeds and have food at them. Yeah. No, you know what a lot of them do?
Tick me off is they would go, I would be standing in line trying to figure out how I'm going to feed my children and trying to make, for some ungodly reason. I love my man, but he thinks that $50 or $100, it was $100 when we had the kids a week, or payday or whatever, was enough to pay for food. Back then it was. And so I would go in, and so I'm trying to figure out, I'm very carefully calculating, couponing, doing everything I can to make this budget work, because it was my job to figure out how to run the household in the kitchen and keep everybody fed, him fed, that kind of thing. What would really tick me off is when I got behind somebody who was in a fur coat, and like not a fake one, a full on real fur coat and fancy clothes and a Coach purse or whatever, usually Louis Vuitton. And then when they go to pay for their food and their stuff, literally anything you couldn't use the food stamps for would be one separate purchase. Everything else, their food and that kind of thing, would be in front of that. I kid you not, they'd whip out their food stamps and pay for that. You had that happen too. That always happened in Kansas City.
Yep, up at the Super Walmart.
Super Walmart in Kansas City. God, that used to make me so mad.
Women pulled out a roll of $100 bills to pay for a cart full of groceries, when I had to scrape through the couch and to find change to get diapers for the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not happy. I was not happy that night. I think that's probably one of the defining moments in my political awakening. I'll be honest with you.
Really, you think that's what it was?
In the Marine Corps? In the Marine Corps, well, that happened right after we got out of the Marine Corps, because we hadn't had Lexi yet.
Yeah, that's true.
But when I was in the Marine Corps, my politics were the Marine Corps, and whatever, if the Marine Corps said it's time to go do something, then it was time to go do something, right? That was my politics. I've said it before, I say it again. I was raised from the time I was in high school to serve the country in the military. So, look, I got a class. I worked at Truman Medical Center, downtown Kansas City, in the heart of the ghetto. I got instructions from one of the guys I worked with on how to get food stamps at 50 cents on the dollar.
You did?
Yeah, Marcus.
I don't remember that.
Marcus and I had that conversation.
See, that's awful.
Well, it's what they do. That's what they do, because the cash,
they need their drugs,
with
and
the
that
cash
kind
they
of
can
thing.
go buy their drugs and their
Yeah.
alcohol. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen, we've been at this for an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, it's time to go.
Hope you guys enjoyed the evening. You guys, seriously, have a good Thanksgiving. Seriously, be safe. It's supposed to start snowing here. If you're in the Midwest, Saturday, they're talking
that's
about
when
a
the
chance
kids
of
are
snow.
talking about pulling out.
You know, be very careful. It's the first snow. In Detroit, the drug dealers took food stamps at face value.
Oh man, you're
Yep.
kidding me.
Yep. You know, so make sure that you're safe. Enjoy your time with your family.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have to FaceTime our daughter and her family.
You guys just make sure you make this holiday count.
Yes, make sure this holiday counts, because if you guys popped in on a Tags Live on Friday, you know that it's not looking good. It's not looking good, and we need to become prepared. You know, I sign off all the time with Go Live a Lifetime Free. I'm still gonna do that, but you guys need to seriously, at the end of the day, you need to sit back and ask yourself the serious question: what have I done today that makes me more prepared and more secure than I was when I woke up? You need to ask yourself that every single day. And even if it's a little thing, don't, you know, I guarantee you that if you take an inventory of your preparedness stance, you're going to find gaping holes in it. We all will. We all do.
I've been doing an inventory and I have found holes, didn't I?
Yeah.
And we are trying to figure out, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I need this. We need XYZ. And I'm just sitting down and making a list, and I'm not going to panic over it. He's not going to panic over it. We have some, we just need more.
I may not get my crown put on the 16th because we need to get those holes filled.
You're going to get your crown on, because SOE is going to be fantastic. And so you're going to get your crown put on. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get some of those holes filled in. You guys need to be thinking about energy, not only not
energy, power,
but that also comes into energy. So where are you getting your energy from? Where are you getting your water from, and all of that? You guys prepare, and just make sure you're set, and you need to be set before Christmas. Okay. So just make sure you get all that done. So we've got this holiday, and then we've got a fun party that we're going to do. And then after we get done with that, hopefully we're going to make bank, and we'll be able to ship out a lot of orders and get that stuff done. And then as we get that done, it's going to be fine. So we'll fill what we need to here. And quite honestly, we're good. Like, we're not going to die. Everything's good. We're fine. We got plenty. And so it's just the things we are looking at is more comfort, right? And so we want to make sure, you know, we can see, you know, we have light.
I'm more worried about freezing to death.
And yeah, that too. So, but we're going to do that. That's going to be the following weekend, right? Are you going to do that the 16th? If you are, we got to put that out.
No.
That weekend, because we get back the 8th, or so it would be 7th. It would be the weekend of the 14th and 15th.
Don't we have a... I don't know, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So we'll have a work day here, stacking wood, doing all of that. But yeah. Yep. I guess just make sure you're taking care of.
Yep.
Take care of yourselves.
So with that said,
be at least 1% better tomorrow than you were today.
And guys, go live a lifetime free, okay?
Love you guys.
Do you ever think about living in a world where we don't have access to modern medicine anymore?
Infections just aren't going to heal themselves. They're just not going to magically get fixed.
These medications will become life-saving for you and the people you care about. It's all done online through the Jace Medical portal.
This kit right here, it's called the Jace case.
Jace Medical, they can supply you with emergency antibiotics.
If somebody gets really sick, that might be the only thing that can save their life.
And it's full of the top 5 antibiotics that we would need in an emergency situation.
It's an actual doctor that's prescribing you to this. It can be tailored for you specifically.
Getting our Jace case was super simple. We just went on their website, filled out a short form. It was reviewed by a board-certified physician, and then he wrote the prescription and mailed this to us from a real pharmacy.
This is a great addition to your medical kit.
And it's